We both put our best effort possible so the intellect shines brilliantly. May our studies be thorough and brilliant. May we never misunderstand each other. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Antaryascha bahirvidutatimiram Jyotirmayam shashvatam Sthanam prapya virajate vinamatam Ajnanamunmulayan Pashyan vishvamapidamullasatiyo Vishwasya pare paraha Tasmai Shri Ramanaya Loka Gurave Shokasya Hantre Namaha Tasmai Shri Ramanaya Loka Gurave Shokasya Hantre Namaha.
So again, just wanted to extend a little bit on the anchor message that I gave to the graduates. Okay. Interestingly, we as parents think that we can be that permanent support for our children, which is not true. When we ourselves are not stable, we cannot be that support. We cannot be that base for that particular anchor. We 100% are that support or that base as long as we are the ship and they are a small boat. Then yes, they can potentially hold on to it. But when they grow up and become ships of their own, you become incapable of supporting them permanently unless you are anchored. Okay, so it is important. What is the purpose of this particular session here? So that you get anchored as well. When you are anchored, you can potentially support them much more efficiently. And if you hadn't anchored yourself in the 12 years that they were in Balvihar, then after they leave, at least you should anchor yourself. Okay. So hold on to the anchor. Without this anchor, you will not be able to proceed further. You may think that you can support your children, but it is not that easy. But when you hold on to Gurudev, when you hold on to Bhagavan, you have the strength to deal with your own storms in life and deal with the storms in life of your children. Okay, this is what Chinmaya Mission uniquely provides. And many of us don't recognize the value of it until we get to life situations. And this was Gurudev's unique contribution of bringing this knowledge to all of us. To a place where we live. We didn't have to go to the Himalayas to get this particular knowledge. And that is why we are ever indebted to him. And we shall always remain indebted to him. Okay, there is another interesting concept in our philosophy. There are a few people that we will have to remain indebted throughout our life. We can never repay back. One happens to be most important, our own parents. There is no way, whatever you do in your life, you will be able to repay what they have done for you. Similarly, there is no way you will be able to repay what they have done in terms of your guru, in terms of your guiding teachers, and more importantly, your spiritual guides who guide you through the process. Okay. There is no way we will be able to repay them ever in our life. And it is perfectly okay to remain indebted until the end. But there is one way that we can help that indebtedness. And how is that? By paying forward. This is a unique concept for us. And that is by paying forward. What do you mean by paying forward? You can never pay anything back to your parents, but by taking care of your children, you are paying for the debt that you took from your parents. And this is the natural system that is happening. You get indebted from the service that your parents have given us. And when you take care of your children, you're paying forward. And when they take care of their children, they are paying forward. Now, the same thing applies with our Guru Parampara. When we get this knowledge from our Guru Parampara, it becomes our duty to pay forward. How do we pay forward? This is where the difficulty is. Paying forward is become Suresh ji and come in the stage and teach. Now, it'll be good if all of you become Suresh jis. But if you cannot, then you support an organization which is doing it. Okay. Now, since you are in Chinmaya Mission, since you've been in Chinmaya Mission, the easiest access is to pay to Chinmaya Mission. Now, if you don't pay to Chinmaya Mission, I am not going to be that much sad even if you pay to another organization which is doing similar activities. Ideally, I would want you to pay to Chinmaya Mission because that is where I have gained the knowledge. So I would like to repay it to my Guru. How? By you all supporting it. Okay. But if you choose to give to another organization, that is perfectly okay. Gurudev has always said, this is not my mission, this is Bhagavan's mission. So wherever Bhagavan's mission is there, support that particular activity. And today being the last adult session for this particular year, my request is that the barcode for donation or is the barcode for Upadesh Sara? Okay. If you can put the barcode up for donation, that will be good. Guru Dakshina. Okay. Being the last session, whatever knowledge you have gained in the last 9-10 months of studying Upadesha Sara, the best way to pay forward is by contributing to the mission. So I will leave it up to you as to how much you should contribute based on how much knowledge you have gained or how much benefit you think you have got. Okay, but giving it becomes an important activity for all of us. So, with that said, we were discussing Prarabdha, Purushartha, and Ishvara Ichcha. That was the topic that we ended last session. I know 1 week gap, you all forget what we discussed. Okay, but that was the topic that we were discussing last week. And the conclusion that we arrived is, the only thing that we can actually positively impact and hold on to is Purushartha. If we hold on to Prarabdha, which is my destiny, this is my destiny, this is my destiny, then it makes you lazy. It doesn't allow you to continue to function as a human being and do what is necessary. If you hold on to Ishvara Ichcha and say, whatever Bhagavan wants will happen, Bhagavan wants will happen, we'll never know what he wants. We will just imagine what he wants, and then we will potentially fall into a pit, and we might even justify our own view of this is what Bhagavan wants. Right? A person who is committing murder can also commit the murder and say, this is what Bhagavan wanted. Right? But interestingly, Bhagavan has already said what he wants in Bhagavad Gita. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata abhyuttana dharmasya tadatmanam srijat. He's already said. Means what? What Bhagavan comes again and again? To re-establish dharma. So what does Bhagavan want from all of us? To practice dharma. To stay on the right path. So if we can follow that also, it is good. This is Bhagavan's Icha. But what is Bhagavan's Icha? Do my dharma. And now the question comes, what is my dharma? Then again you go back into the rut. Okay. So practicing that dharma, you can fulfill Ishvara Icha as well. But if not that, the simplest option is Purushartha, which is my free will, my ability to make decisions based on dharma, but acting at the moment the best way I can in the spirit of karma yoga and doing all my activities. This is the only solution we are finally left with. So with that, I conclude that discussion. I did say if you still have any questions on it, to write it down so we can discuss today. If any of you have question, please raise your hand and then we can discuss. Any of you have any questions?
No, I said, where does it all start, right? And you said you'll cover it this week.
This is one question that is not answered as such. See, the question that most people ask that is corollary to this particular question. What came first, the seed or the tree? Which came first? Seed came first or tree came first? Our Gurudev jokingly, somebody asked Gurudev, or Gurudev had this question. What came first, chicken or egg? Our Gurudev has his own style of answering. He basically said what you order in the restaurant. That will come first. Okay. He has his own style of answering, but that is Gurudev. Okay. So the question is, what came first, chicken or egg? Or seed or tree? It's an impossible answer. It is, the answer that is given in the Shastra is, it is a never-ending cycle. Okay, this is one way to understand it. Second way to understand it, I assume nobody knows this. How many of you don't know Russian? Is there anybody who knows Russian here? I hope not. That's why I picked that language, but right? Okay. When is the first time that you did not know Russian? When you knew there was a language called Russian, you became aware of you did not know Russian. But even before that, you did not know Russian. So ignorance or not knowing something is beginningless. There is no beginning point to say I am ignorant of something. Because if you say this is when it started, I mean you knew it before it and then you forgot it and then you say I don't know, which is not possible. Okay. What is our real problem in life? Our real problem in life is, I don't know I am this. And I take myself to be this. So what is the real problem of our life? Ignorance of my own self. And ignorance by nature is beginningless. Okay. So, because I don't know myself, from the beginningless time, I have been doing actions throughout my life in the search of happiness. And in the process of searching for happiness, I have been doing punya and papa, and that punya and papa has kept me in this cycle. The only beauty about ignorance is it can, though it is beginningless, it can be put to an end. Though I don't know Russia from the beginningless time, I can study it and put it to an end. So though I don't know my true nature from the beginningless time, I can study about it and put an end to it. And this is the whole purpose of Vedanta. Okay. So that is the answer. Any other question?
Hello, Suresh. I just had a question regarding, previous karmas, and then we take the rebirth and all that. During 19th century, the population was only around 1.6 billion people, and now we are 8 billion. So are there a lot of animals doing good karma that they are reincarnating as humans, or is it? I know it's kind of
It's a good question.
yeah. So
How many COVID viruses did we have?
billions.
Each and every COVID virus is a jiva. And that has the potential at some point in time to become a human being. As they progress and as they evolve. Okay. As you progress and as you evolve, see, the beauty about it is in our scriptures, it is said that the lower yonis, you only exhaust papa. In the higher yonis, you only exhaust punya. It is in the human birth that you both exhaust papa punya, but also create papa punya. It's only in the human birth. Okay. So from the beginningless time, I was just evolving, and I get an opportunity to become a human being. Now I have the opportunity to either evolve or devolve. And when I devolve to a point, I will go and become a COVID virus again. All the way down. Potentially. Potentially, I might just become a lion. Potentially, I might become a Rakshasa. Okay, depends on what karma I do here. Right? If you are a person who, you can sit down. If you are a person that just sits at home, do nothing and eat. That is how you've lived your entire life as a human being. You will 100% either become a COVID virus or a tree. You see the point? Because that's what you want. What you want is, I want to sit and eat, do nothing. If you were throughout your life shouting and screaming at somebody, you will have to become a dog. Because the dog continuously barks. Okay. If you snatch things away, then you will have to be born as a wild animal. This is there in our Shastra. So you can do that, or you can be a good person and become a Devata. And enjoy for some time and then come back. So what we do here decides. So the 7-point thing, there was one Mahatma who said this very beautifully. What he did, when this question was asked, supposedly he was in the beach. He picked up a handful of sand. And he basically said, every particle in this sand has the potential to become a jiva. The potential exists. So, the question that I should ask you is, why is it only 8 billion? Everybody should evolve faster. Means we should help evolve faster and we should become hundreds of billions. Don't worry, the problem will not happen. Population is a problem, but hundreds of billions is not a problem because it is only 8 billion in this Brahmanda. We have Ananta Koti Brahmandas, and there are Ananta Koti human beings in those Ananta Koti Brahmandas. So Bhagavan will take care of that problem. We don't have to worry about it. Okay. Hopefully I answered your question. It is a little bit of thinking required, but I gave you the direction to think. Yeah. Yes. Any other questions?
I was wondering if you could elaborate on what you talked about last time around the intent of an action that contributes to karma. And we know that there are people who may genuinely have good intent while doing what most of us would consider bad action, and how does that contribute to karma? Is there like a neutral arbiter that's determining whether that's a good action, or is it truly just the intent, and could a bad action actually contribute to a positive karma?
Okay. Interesting question. It is not the action itself which decides something is punya or papa. It is the intent behind the action that decides something is a punya or papa. So now the question is, I have no money at all with me, zero. My mother is about to die. She is in the bed. She is very sick. And I need to give medicine for her in order to save her. So my intent is to save my mother. But I have no money. So now what I do is I go and steal the medicine or money or whatever the case might be to pay for my mother's medication. What happens in this situation? That's your question. It's not as dramatic as that, but that's kind of the direction of the question that you're asking. Yes?
Yes, although I could maybe, there's another hypothetical in my mind as well, which is like even the Bhagavad Gita takes place on a battlefield, right? So there's like a virtuous way in which you can actually commit violence, right? And so there are people in this world today that are committing violence in their own mind, believe that they're doing that for a better, higher, righteous cause. And so that's also the type of example that I'm thinking about.
See, that is a whole different issue. Your imagined right cause versus real right cause, there is a difference. There is difference, but how to get that figured out is not that easy. Okay. Supposing you have been told to fight because there is an imagination that Bhagavan will be happy. And that is not the right answer. That is tamasic imagination. There is things. So there is only one answer. And that is the final arbitrator for this is Bhagavan and Bhagavan alone. Okay. And why he is called Bhagavan? He is called Bhagavan because even if he pardons, he doesn't have to answer to anybody. That is why he is Bhagavan. Okay. Which we did. If our current president pardons, we have the right to question. Why? Because he is not the ultimate. But Bhagavan is Bhagavan because when he pardons, we don't have the right to question. Because he pardons with the complete knowledge and understanding of the whole thing. Right? And the beauty is he is impartial. Because he has no personal likes or dislikes. When you pardon one child for a mistake that he did, even though he affected the other child, you are doing it without partiality. Correct? This child your one child did something bad to the other child. But you still forgive this child for the mistake they did, knowing very well that it was done unintentionally. The younger one will say, no, it was done intentionally. But you have understood that this was done unintentionally and you pardon that particular child. Why? Because you are impartial to both your children. Bhagavan all of us are his children. So where will he have partiality? He cannot have partiality. So when he executes his actions, it is completely impartial. Okay, and that is why he is called as Karma Phala Data. Why is he called Karma Phala Data? Because he has the ultimate power. He has the ultimate power to give the decision, and he is impartial. Okay, so that is why we should all study Ramayana and Mahabharata. If there is one reason that we should study Ramayana and Mahabharata, it is this. Because in Ramayana and Mahabharata, the intricacies of life and how to deal with those situations are discussed. There is a famous saying that whatever has happened in Mahabharata is all that has happened before, and is all that is happening now, and is all that will happen in the future. There cannot be anything that can happen in the universe that is not there in Mahabharata, even in the future. So then when we study Mahabharata, we will be able to identify a situation that is similar to the situation that I am facing today. And then you will be able to see how they responded, and you will be able to see the consequence later. Whether that response was good or bad, the later result also is shown Mahabharata. So then you know, if I act like this, this is what I will become, but if I act like this, I will correct myself. And this is how we should study Mahabharata. The purpose of study of Mahabharata and Ramayana is to figure out these intricate questions of, or we should study Dharma Shastra. Dharma Shastra is the final source. Mahabharata is nothing but a pictorial representation of Dharma Shastra. But Dharma Shastra is impossible for us. Mahabharata itself we find it difficult to study. Forget about Dharma Shastra. So, scriptures have given detailed explanation of situations like this, even intricate situations. The situation which I just said of a particular person trying to save his mother or father by stealing, such situations are there in our Puranic literature. And how they dealt with it and what happened to them is also there. Now, if you've studied it, we will have a better understanding of how to deal with it. Okay. Is it easy? No. Will we study Mahabharata? Hopefully. Okay. Or the final message which we give, which is the final hold on to. This is not the solution. Okay, this is a temporary band-aid fix. Ultimately, we can do band-aids. The temporary band-aid fix is to follow what good and respected people in the society do, and to follow our own conscience, and to finally, the final point it comes down to is don't do anything that you don't want somebody else to do to you. Is the final idea. Will you do this to somebody else? Should be dependent on what will happen if they do it to me. Am I okay? Then it's okay for you to. This is a final conscience test, but this is band-aid fix. This is not the real fix. The real fix is we have to go all the way to Mahabharata, Ramayana, or Dharma Shastra. But in extreme situations, how do I deal with it? Think. If somebody does this to me, am I okay with it? Okay. Extreme situations. So these are the techniques given in the Shastra. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. So many of these points that we are talking about has been beautifully brought out in the story form in 52 episodes in a series called Upanishad Ganga by Chinmaya Mission. It is all there in YouTube. No paid version. 52 episodes of Upanishad Ganga. Even if you watch those 52 episodes, we'll have a good understanding of how to live life. And it is 52 into 22 minutes. So 52 into 22 minutes is about 1,000 minutes. So if we can spare 1,000 minutes of our life, we will be a lot more smarter. Yeah. It was made for Doordarshan, telecast for 1 year. It has all our basic ideas and concepts. Now it is available in many, many languages. They've translated it into Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Hindi, English. Subtitles obviously is there in many of the things. So language again is not a barrier. You will be able to catch it in whatever language you are comfortable with. It's a major contribution by our Pujya Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda. It was his baby, his child. And it was one of the most profound contributions of his, which we will remember much later as to what its value and what its importance is. Okay, so something that is a treasure house that we should watch. Thanks, Shriji. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? We are done. Again, I would like to take a moment to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to study Upadesha Sara in detail. No, I have Maniji coming for another activity. Okay. I have Maniji coming for another activity at 10:30. Okay. What I was saying that I'd like to take a moment to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to reflect on Upadesha Sara. It had been a wonderful journey. We did Bhajagovindam last year. We did Upadesha Sara this year. Next year, we are planning to do Hanuman Chalisa as a class right here. Okay. And in Hanuman Chalisa, I will weave in the relevant stories of Ramayana. As the Hanuman Chalisa proceeds, whatever is the relevant stories corresponding to each one of those chaupais, I will weave in those stories of Ramayana, and then I will also discuss the learnings and teachings from it. So again, another opportunity to study Ramayana as well through Hanuman Chalisa. So this is the idea for next year. Okay. So that we get some practical ideas and tips of how to live life and what to do. So this is my wish for next year. We wish, he decides. Okay, what happens, it's ultimately his decision, Gurudev's decision. Okay, so that is the plan for next year that we will go through in detail from that particular perspective. So we have another 6-7 minutes. So if you have any other questions, anything related to Hinduism, okay, I'm not talking about Upadesha Sara, Vedanta, anything. Any question that you have in Hinduism, please don't hesitate to ask. In 7 minutes, Maniji has a special program.
Give 1 second. Just 1 second.
I'm just wondering maybe how we can bring the teachings, like more actively talk about the issues, like most of the people here I think are in the parenting phase, you know, how we can apply the teachings to the regular problems that we have, whether it's with kids or work or this. I still find a gap between what we do here, which sometimes feels quite theoretical to me, and I'm not going to go off and study 3 years in Vedanta. I'm not, it's just not where I am, and probably not, you know, what I'll do eventually. So how can the teachings become what I would call maybe a little more practical in terms of applying not only to our family lives, but how to make society better? I do still feel like in Hindu society, there's a big gap, I feel, compared to American society of helping others, reaching out to others, of being more communal. And I still find that gap after, you know, all these years of kind of doing things.
The problem is that is a misunderstanding of the Hindu society. Okay. I'll answer that question and then we'll do the rest later. You should listen to the United Nations speech of Swami Chinmayananda on YouTube. He gave a detailed speech to United Nations. Okay, it's a wonderful talk that we should all listen to. Okay, there Gurudev answers your question. Okay, Gurudev says you in United Nations will continue to regulate all these countries and try to bring them together. But there is absolutely no doubt. In Self-Unfoldment, Gurudev writes that as long as we are trying to fix the outside, it is not possible. He says there is a guarantee without doubt that there will be war in the world every 7 years. This is Gurudev written this Self-Unfoldment book years ago. Okay. There is a guarantee that there will be wars in the world every 7 years. Now, we don't have to wait for 7 years. Now it is happening every 7 months. Okay. So, as long as we continue to fix the outside, it is impossible. This is Gurudev's words, not mine. Gurudev says the only way we can achieve world peace is fixing ourselves first. When we fix ourselves, we will be able to fix what is happening around us. So we are actually, as Chinmaya Mission, by fixing ourselves, contributing much more to the world than by doing the so-called outside paraphernalic activities. Okay, this is the essence of Hindu Dharma. Okay. There was United Nations had written letter to many of the leaders at the time they were starting as to what human rights should be. So we said they said we have to come up with a charter for human rights. So the leaders at that point in time, they had written letters to say, please tell us what you think should be included in this particular charter. And they sent a similar letter to Mahatma Gandhi at that point in time. Okay. Mahatma Gandhi chose not to reply to that particular letter. They sent a second reminder. He chose not to reply. They sent a third reminder. Then Mahatma Gandhi ji replied only one paragraph to that whole message. He basically said, we don't believe in human rights in our Sanatana Dharma. We are a duty-bound society. We only believe in duties. That's it. Now here is the answer to your extended question. When the husband performs his duty perfectly, the rights of the wife is automatically taken care of. When the wife performs her duty perfectly, the rights of the husband is automatically taken care of. When the employer performs his duty perfectly, the rights of the employee is automatically taken care of. When the employee performs his duty perfectly, the rights of the employer is automatically taken care of. And this is the society we believe in. This is the uniqueness of Hindu philosophy. And for that, we have to improve ourselves and understand our duties and perform our duties. And that is what we are focused on teaching. So if you are looking for that outside level teaching, Chinmaya Mission and Hinduism is not the right source. We believe in correcting ourselves and fixing ourselves around it. This is the whole core of our philosophy. But this is misunderstood, which is perfectly fine. But long-lasting solution is only this. This will come. Eventually it will turn around and come. And we have seen it go through cycles of rotation and coming back. But it will come back. That is only reason why Hinduism has survived for such a long period of time. Yes, right now it might feel that they are winning. We'll wait to see. Right. Okay, here is a useful session. Because this happens to be the last session and we have some time, we would like to conduct a town hall for the next 20 minutes, primarily focused on activities here in Chinmaya Mission. Okay, and we would like to get your feedback on what is working and what is not working and what can we do to improve it. Okay, I am not going to say all your questions, we will give solution. Right now, we are only listening to your question. Let me very clear. Okay, I don't expect Maniji to give you answer to all your questions. Neither do I expect myself to give you the answer. But we want to give you the opportunity to voice your concerns, and we want to be able to listen to it. I will start off with one which I've already heard from a few of you to give you the context of what it is. And I've already informed Maniji, we don't have an answer, but I'll start off with one issue. One of the feedback that I have heard is our assembly is too long and too boring. Okay. So, that is something that we have taken as a feedback. Okay. So, we will figure out what we need to do. We'll think about ideas of if we can fix it, how we can fix it. But that is the context of the town hall. I'm just setting the context of the town hall. The context of the town hall is give us your thoughts of what is working, more importantly, what is not working, so that we can try to improve and make things better for all of you. So if we can have a few mics around, and Maniji, if you want to add anything, please go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think you said everything that I wanted to say, Sureshji. This is no Vedanta topic will be covered, so that part of it's already over. You learned enough, so now you are helping the rest of the operations people, right? We're helping us to run these sessions better. So Sureshji said the context very well about the assembly being long. So that's one example. I would just add one more thing to it. I mean, a lot of people find it very challenging to come here on time. So the 9:10. So more than literally half of the congregation is arriving, either a little bit 2 minutes late or 5 minutes late, things like that. So these are all the things that we want to talk about. And as Sureshji said, we are not going to explain or answer anything to any of that. We want to take the time to get your feedback as much as you can provide. So that's the purpose.
Are we recording this session, or if somebody taking notes?
They are taking notes.
Okay.
Both, yeah.
Both are
from the booth. Yeah.
Okay.
So can we get a couple of mics over here, please? Baswaji. Who's going first? Jason, please come to the front.
And so this is a minor point, not trying to nitpick or anything. I've noticed that the written or published times for start and stop differ from reality. So that might be worth tightening, if you know what I'm saying. I think sometimes what's written, things start earlier, what's written for in, sometimes finish later. So, like the whole say what you mean what you say kind of thing can be helpful for planning, if that makes sense. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Actually, I noticed on the 9:10 thing, I think everywhere says 9:15. Like actually in writing, I think it says 9:15. So I think,
Website says 9:15?
yeah, I think all the writing and emails say 9:15, so 9:10 I think was verbally conveyed and things changed. So yeah, I mean, and then the other thing is class ending times sometimes a little bit fudgeable. So yeah, thank you.
Who's going next?
We just have one suggestion. So the class, generally our class, Yeah, the class generally ends around 10:50 or so, and we have another class to attend at 11 o'clock. So that 10 minutes is like, I mean, I have younger kids, they are sometimes hungry and we have to go to shloka class. So those 10 minutes are like I have to feed them something so that they'll be attentive. So I feel that's kind of too tight for me every time. And if I want to take some food, it's too tight for me. Every time it's like I have to calm them down. And yeah, I love to attend the class, but maybe we need to reduce by, like, I need some time to adjust them. So I feel that's one thing, so that they'll be happy in the next class and I'll be listening properly. So I feel that's something I want to. Thank you.
Noted.
I think there are lots of events that are very interesting, and we always look forward to attending them. But what happens is, when we plan our entire year using a school calendar, there are some anchor events that will help us. If there are, say, there was events for Hanuman Jayanti and all of those things that we really enjoyed attending. But if we then say, okay, in another 2 weeks, there's another event coming. So it's very difficult to plan that through the entire year. So if that can kind of coincide with school calendars also, it'll be fantastic. If we have some sort of an overview that these are some key events coming, so then we can also plan and attend better. Otherwise, in short notice, I know we make announcements on a monthly basis. It's very helpful, but just at least knowing that these are the events that we can plan for a little bit in advance will be helpful.
Some of the key events should be in our calendar.
It is, if you go to the Balavihar section, we are answering it because it's easy to answer. In the Balavihar section, programs Balavihar, you have the calendar, full year's calendar.
Which has the key events on it.
It has pretty much all the events on it. So everything that we do, it's on it.
Hariom, so there was some discussion about the Balvihar classes being conducted on Saturdays. Is there any plan for that?
Are you going to sign up? How many of you will be interested if we start a Saturday morning session? Can you please raise your hands? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Please go ahead.
There was some discussion about the classes being conducted on Saturday. And there was a survey taken, I think, last year. So just checking if there is any such plans, because it may help a lot of parents.
That is still in discussion.
Okay.
So we haven't decided on that. But it's good to know. I mean, the survey results was not very favorable to start a new session. So that's why we did not think about it, but still in consideration, by the way. But there are a lot of hands went up, so at least 8 of them, so it's good.
That's a pretty good number. Yeah. Here, we have 2 hands here. Anga.
If I can add to that, the flexibility of being able to attend another session, a secondary session, in addition to the session that you've signed up for. Like, my son is in sports. We don't know the calendar for his matches. So most of the days, what happens is he's missing either the 9 o'clock. We've tried 12 o'clock sessions, and he had games around 12. And then, so we took the line, and now he has a lot more of sports sessions happening at 9. So if they have the flexibility, though you sign up for a primary session, if they miss one, if they're able to attend the 12 o'clock session without, again, we could give advance notice, but that flexibility would be awesome as well. So the kids can have continuity.
Okay. I will very quickly answer, 30 seconds, okay? So this is discussed many times. Balavihar team is very, very particular not to do that for a lot of reasons. Continuity, the teacher-children relationship, the kids having friends with other friends in the classroom. So that setting is very unique. So it's not, you cannot just like that, move to another class and then continue. So I'm answering to the ones where we are not going to take action. So.
Hariom, thank you so much for this opportunity. First thing I would like to say that this whole sort of Chinmaya classes have been very helpful for my son. We have been coming here when he was in elementary school, now he's in high school. One thing that really helped him and he really loved was the cultural events. So he was part of this Ganga program one time, and he did some of these cultural events. It provided a bit more of an informal environment and connection with other students that he really loved. So I would hope we can do more like that. Second, now I think he's finding it, obviously with high school, the timing is getting difficult, but he also thinks that the curriculum is a little bit more rigid. And I think I grew up in India, I had all these sort of ideas in my mind, but somebody who's growing up here, just attending one class in a week, it's very hard to expose them to everything. So if there is some way to informally involve them a little bit more, and obviously that has also to do with the parents, but I don't have answer. I'm just thinking aloud here, what can we do to make it not so rigid, but a little bit more informal, where they can voice their opinion, they can brainstorm, they can bring their issues from outside world and think through. So that would be just a humble suggestion. Thank you.
We'll definitely pass that on to the Balaviha team.
Hariom, just to follow up with her, we come from Arlington. I think majority here are in Fairfax. I think having a little bit of informality in classes helps my kid, who's a teenager, kind of get to know everybody. She comes in, everyone knows each other from school, sports, other activities. So she does find the classes hard to break into because groups have already formed. She's also shy. So it's already takes her a lot of courage to show up and say hello to somebody she doesn't know. She enjoys the classes even though she doesn't admit to it. I truly appreciate being here. It's hard, coming from Arlington too, to come to a lot of the events that are outside of the classroom. So we always feel like we're missing out because it's such great work that goes in behind the scenes and on the scenes. But yeah, I concur with the person who went ahead. Also, when you come in new, it's, some sort of social aspect to be built in maybe at the start of the year. I think we did it the last year, and that was really nice to kind of come in and meet people and build that type of connections. But I just wanted to say thank you to all the volunteers. I see a ton of work that goes into it, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
So wonderful feedback. We'll definitely share. One thing that I would say though is the curriculum is set, but the teachers have the full freedom how they are doing the instructions in the class. They do have that flexibility. So each teacher have their own way of teaching. But this is good feedback. I mean, we can definitely pass this, and we heard this before. So we'll convey this to the Balaviha team.
Hariom. I just have a suggestion regards to meditation. I think if we can do a little bit prolonged meditation with the kids present, I think it's really good. It's transformational. I mean, longer it is better, as we know. Studies show it too. And make it mandatory every week. I think, sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't do it. I know time is constraint, but yeah, 5 to 10 minutes, I think would be that's my suggestion. Thank you.
Sure. Yes, this one.
Hariom. One situation I faced last year was one of my friends' family, like both parents were in the hospital. So we were watching a kid, their kid, and so my son attends Bal Vihar here. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll bring the other kid as well to Bal Vihar. So that, obviously we were watching him. There was no one else to take care of him. But when I came here, I was asked, I was told he's not registered, so he can't sit in class. So I had to come and then go back, drop the kid to his parents. So it was not a very comfortable situation, and I was really surprised that was the response I got. I think if we could make exceptions like that, I'm not saying if it's a emergency situation, right? It's just easier, and maybe that kid would have developed. He may have liked the class, and maybe he would have registered as well and benefited from Bal Vihar. So I was surprised by that he was not allowed at all. It's like if he's not registered, he cannot sit in the class.
he can always sit here with you. You know that, right? I mean, there is no restriction over here. Yeah, we'll definitely take that feedback. Yeah, we should be definitely flexible. I 100% agree with you, but I'm just letting you know that you have an option to sit here. There is no.
Hari Om. Chinmaya Mission again. I'm a old member. I mean, I've been a member, of course. Chinmaya Mission being a spiritual organization, one thing I have noticed it is whenever there is a long weekends coming in, we are also having a break. So because of that, the kids are also taking it as easy. I mean, there shouldn't be any holiday for the God, right? So, I mean, see, people can have their own schedules. It doesn't matter, right? You should continue the journey. So I wanted to.
Gods don't need a break, but I do. We all need a break, you know. So today we have programs going till like 8 o'clock, and then the cleanup till 10. So if there is a long weekend, I am definitely going to take it. You know, so.
Hari Om. I kind of piggybacking off of what someone said about the volunteers. I know that there's a lot of committees and there's a lot of volunteer work that happens, like the sustainability work, and there's like the other opportunities to get involved, like the chanting and things like that. I know we talk about it in various sessions, and I've seen the presentations where like members from those committees come and present about them, but it would be helpful if there was like a landing web page or something that kind of described what those are and the contact people and how you can get involved, and also an idea of like the time commitment, because we listen and we try to absorb everything, but we are only human. Sometimes I'm like, wait, they said something, but I don't really remember. So it'd be helpful if there was a web page or something to refer back to. Thank you.
Noted. Yeah, please.
Oh, okay. Hi, Hari Om. I'm new to the Chinmay Mission here. I grew up in another state, and I attended as a child all through my graduation. And we're new just this year, and I have a 7-year-old son. I wanted to introduce him, and it's been so amazing, and thank you so much to all the volunteers. One thing I thought might be helpful, though, is if any new families come and just to piggyback on what they were saying, we also come from a little further away. We live in Alexandria, so I don't think anybody here is in Alexandria as well. And so we had a little bit of a hard time, I don't want to say adjusting, but learning what to do. It felt very different. So I don't know if it's possible to have some kind of on-ramping, to help new families and new members to know kind of what to do and where to go. And I know my son really struggled because he didn't know anybody and he didn't know what to do or where to go or what comes next. So my suggestion would be to also piggyback on having some, like a website or even a personal connection. So connecting like a newer family with a family that's been here for several years and connecting children, maybe offline, and we can meet separately outside of Balvihar online or over the phone, just to connect some families that are new with the families that have been here for a long time, and connect children who are new with children who have been here for a long time so they know what to do. That's my suggestion. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for that feedback.
Thank you. Hari Om, everybody. Thank you again for organizing all of this, all the volunteers, Gurudev, Swamiji's, Sureshji, and all the other people. We appreciate everything you do. I have 3 children who've come through Chinmaya. My second one graduated today, and I have one more 16-year-old. I'm sure they're learning a lot. They don't give me much feedback when I drive them home. I always have to ask them, what did you learn? How did you learn it? It's a little challenging. In reference to what the lady up front said, the format, I don't know. I'm not a teacher, so I don't know how hard it is to teach these teenagers. But maybe if we can somehow tweak something or change something, I don't know how to get the input out of my children and how to make it more interesting for them, and how can I make them come in the morning and say, hey, we're going to Chinmaya, this is great, we should all go. They go because I think my husband and I want them to go sometimes. So that's one thing. My daughter's best friend goes to Jain Pathshala in Maryland, and they go every Sunday, and they somehow just go, it seems. I've noticed that they have pizza and cupcakes in every session, and they just sit down and they chat. And so one time she did a sleepover in our house the night before, and I said, you know what, Devika, just come with me. And she said, no, Auntie, I'm going to Pathshala. We have a whole thing going on there. So it seemed like she was like jumping to go back home in the morning and get to Maryland, which is a 45-minute drive from our place, and she wanted to go there. And I said, okay, I thought I'll take you with me to Chinmaya, So something, I don't know what it is, and maybe it's just my kids, and I'm okay with accepting that too, but they do come, and my oldest is now 25, and he says that he's learned something. Something is gone in somewhere, and he can't pinpoint at this age, but I know it's benefited him in some way. But I know this whole center's volunteer run, and it's amazing how much we achieve, so thank you very much.
In the interest of time, we will get your feedback, but in the interest of time, we'll just quickly do the closing prayer. So if anybody needs to leave, they can go ahead and leave. Okay. We will get, whoever has feedback, please stay for extra 10 minutes. We will still get your feedback in an extra 10 minutes, but I'll just do the quick closing prayer and then we can go. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Couple of questions we'll take. Okay, you can continue the setup. Whenever, just 2-3 questions. Rendu ver da irukanga. Okay.
Typing most of it. Can ask questions. Definitely do this formally. Three more are there. 3 questions are there.
Okay, we'll answer.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
So I get the mic. You can ask questions here.
Okay. I don't need a mic, I just can't say that. With this, what I do, I just include a...
Sure, thank you. No problem.
Perfect. Thank you. We tried this, actually wanted to get this feedback, but we just let him know. So that's why we took a little bit of time. But if there are this many questions, I really would love to do it.
So my son and my nephews, they
They're doing it right. Just stand there and do it. Okay, they should do it. No. But that.
हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल,
हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल,
हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल,
हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल,
हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, बोल बोल,
हरि बोल, हरि बोल, बोल,
हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल,
हरि बोल, हरि बोल, बोल,
हरि बोल, हरि बोल,
हरि बोल,
हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल,
हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल,
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल, जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
ओ राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल,
जय जय राधा
रमण हरि बोल
जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
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 हरि बोल हरि
हरि बोल
बोल
हरि बोल
हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल बोल बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल बोल बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल बोल बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल बोल बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
ओ राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
जय जय राधा रमण हरि बोल
No, don't do that. No, that should be the only place I know. The thing is that maybe the Shloka room it went down. Room is gone. Shloka because of the Shloka room is gone. And that's is anybody there? Anybody there? Hari Om, Hari Om.
Thank you for presenting on the right day. அது சொல்லலையே அவங்க கம்யூனிகேட் பண்ணியா முதல்ல இன்னைக்கு